Alright, people, this is a Smackdown review. And just understand, I'm in a bad mood because I hurt myself over at work. So, just when I'm going out of pocket, someone just tell me in the comment section because I don't want to hear your BS. So, Naomi earned a shot for the Smackdown Women's title over the controversy over Sonya Deville. So, our main event was another BS Women's title match. Also, interview involving both Goldberg and Roman Reigns heading into Elimination Chamber. Yes, it's going to be in Saudi Arabia. Yes, it's going to be another overuse of Goldberg. Yes, Roman Reigns is probably going to get over to build over to Lesnar and Roman Reigns. And I don't know what else to get excited about. I guess the Chamber match, because at least I can say one positive thing about WWE. The men's main event matches for the title, it's consistent. Like, you don't see a below average match. You always get a decent pop, and there's also always crazy spots. Like Kevin Owens and Roman Reigns tore the house down in many matches. Big E as well wasn't a bad, like, in ring. Like, I'm not talking about the characters. Like, in ring, they're fine. Character wise, they're not the reason I watch TV. They're not the reason. We had Los Lothario picking the win against the New Day over a roll up, after literally kicking out of everything, like the overuse of breaking over the pin to force any drama. It's the same thing for every New Day match. Like, it feels like it takes very little psychology in a New Day match. They just pick over a spot, break up the pin. It's like they want to wrestle AEW style, and no other character comes out of this. And Big E's just fine after literally being world champion and Money in the Bank on Raw. He's fine going back to SmackDown, below the pit, back down the shuffle in the mid-card with Kofi. He has no characterization, doesn't know why he's back on SmackDown. He's just so happy to be there because he's with his friends. That's technically it. There's never any characterization whenever somebody goes back to a tag team at all. And I would understand if it was like Bubba and Devon, like, we get their mid-carders, right? We're not counting TNA. Like, Bubba and Devon, they weren't as hyped up as most. Even Devon, literally, they came back being the same characters, and then immediately they're back together. No complaints. No, we're holding each other down. They're never gonna drop. They're just gonna go 50-50 with the Los Lotharios. That sounds like a restaurant that went out of business in the Bronx. Then we have the Usos jumping the Viking Raiders and stealing their crap because they're fake black. Literally giving them super kicks, beating them up, and taking their helmets. Michael Cole interviewed Roman Reigns. Goldberg had a weak promo saying that you're next, you're going to be my victim. And then Roman Reigns did a pretty decent promo being like, oh, 100-something wins. That's pretty good. If I was in WCW, we'd all be winning because that would still be in business. Like, very good lines bringing up that Roman Reigns is better at almost everything, and he's gonna Goldberg. That was actually a good line. So, yeah, I actually don't mind that. Then we had a dungeon style match with Natalya and Aliyah. I don't know what they mean by that, but the sharpshooter. When Aliyah was over on the ropes, it still ended. The match stipulation. The match stipulation somehow evaded like a rope break. So it ends with Natalya winning by submission while Aliyah was on the ropes. And then after a post-match assault, I don't even know why they're feuding. I thought this was over some Guinness World Record crap of being the oldest trans wrestler in existence. And it ends with Xia Li coming out there, doing her Mortal Kombat fake close combat from Pokemon shit, and just beating up over Natalya and running away. So I guess Xia Li's just the defender. She's the Michael Cole coming around with another fake BS name like the Protector. What? The Protector of what? That just sounds like a BS condom that failed in the 2000s. The Protector. Then Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson narrated his tribute for Rocky Johnson into the Hall of Fame. I mean, for Black History Month, Hall of Famer Rocky Johnson. And that's it. That's Vince caring about black people. Watch Big E get pinned first in the Elimination Chamber. We are so getting canceled. Sami Zayn hosted his podcast another interview segment for another wrestler that can't get over. I mean, Sami Zayn is fine. I don't find him as worse as he was back in 2016. At least he's developed some semblance of a character for himself. And hell, he's entertaining enough to at least set with Johnny Knoxville for a continuous storyline. So I can't say that Sami Zayn completely sucks. But for a person that's been so over-exaggerated to be, oh, he could be WWE champion. Like, everybody just has the semblance that everybody deserves to be world champion. All because they get a match where you do a high spot and you just do a cheap pop that's only going to be there for a semblance of time. Never a timeless moment with Sami Zayn that doesn't involve wrestling another dude and no one can remember except the hardcore fans. That makes no sense to me. And Sami Zayn reacted to poor Johnny Knoxville, beating Sami Zayn's ass at the Rumble. I didn't even know, like, he was shouting Zayn in the Jackass parody. And same accused Nakamura and Boogs for, biting with Johnny Knoxville, ending with electrocuting Boogs and then haluva kicking Nakamura. That's the segment. At least it ends with the heat. Also, I think they're also supposed to have an IC title match. Probably Johnny Knoxville is going to cost him the match to continue the rivalry. Other than that, this was a harmless segment, but I wouldn't watch it again. So, there's my opinion on it. Next up, we had Happy Corbin beating Cesaro clean with the end of days after rolling back into the ring. Madcap Moss couldn't be there because he was suffering an eye injury, too severe enough to be in the corner. And then McIntyre comes in, surprising Happy Madcap Moss with the sword, calling him over to for the Elimination Chamber match. And it's going to be a Falls Count Anywhere match with Happy Corbin, because they've been doing this for a few months now. So I guess that's going to end their feud. Michael Cole interviewed Goldberg and said that he doubts Roman Reigns will. Goldberg, you're going to be next. Oh, right, I'm like pushing 60. Oh, yeah. And I gotta say, like, the main event was actually acceptable. Like, the fans were actually into the match, even though there was, like, I feel crappy spots. Like, it's obvious, like, Naomi has very little psychology doing a cross body. At least it didn't look completely choreographed, but it also looked pretty poor. Like, nullifying the rear view, trying to miss it at every time. Big boot, split leg moonsault that had to be attempted twice to get the finish. Sonya Deville was near the cost. This actually went for like over 20 minutes, and it was actually an alright match. Ronda Rousey came to help after the post-match assault after Natalya won with the natural selection. In a pretty exceptional match at our main event, and actually having a big pop over Ronda Rousey because she's the actual star over the show. This was an okay SmackDown. This was an exceptional SmackDown over an unexceptional writing team. This actually was an average show. But the way that we can have this quality every week, or at least a quality to actually build up more over our stars, I don't know if this is going to be... We're obviously going to have a trash go-home show. If at least there's optimism around the corner. In under 24 hours, we have the Super Bowl. And your mom's coming to visit. And she tells you to subscribe. Thanks for watching. That's it from the DST show. Hope you enjoy the rest of your weekend and enjoy the Super Bowl. And make sure you lose that bet and lose probably over hundreds of bucks. That's it for me. Thanks for watching.